Welcome. I am so glad to have you here today. In this series, I'm talking to different business owners and how they have used software and automations to streamline their business. But today, we are focusing on lead gen because I don't know about you, but I will always come home with events with at least a few business cards. In the past, it was way more business cards than what it is now, but I will still come home with some. And all they do is they sit on my desk until I want to pitch them because I don't do anything with them. And I've had people in the past reach out to me and be like, all right, so I want to take my huge stack of business cards and I want to add them into my email marketing so I can email them. I'm like, I can't do that. So that is some of what we're going to talk about today. But before I introduce our guest, let me introduce myself. So my name is Kim Roth. I'm a tech and automation specialist for service-based business owners who are tired of spending their nights and weekends with their computer. We look at different ways that we can automate and streamline your business so that you can save time and make more money. So now I want to introduce you to my friend, Cassandra Galvez. She is a Facebook ads extraordinaire. And every time I talk with her, I learn so much more. So please, Cassandra, tell me a little bit about your business and how you help people with lead gen.
Of course. Thank you for having me here, Kim. Like she said, my name is Cassandra Galvez. I'm the co-owner of Married with Ads. And alongside my husband, Michael, we help coaches get at least 100 new leads per month without you having to DM people, post on social media 24/7, and without spending at least like a lot of money on ads, just like $10 a day. That's more than enough to start getting leads. So that is mostly how we help, at least coaches, because we also do done for you. But like when you're just starting out, everybody wants done for you, but then you hear the price that comes with like an ads manager and how much you have to spend on ads, and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to, but you still need leads, right? So that's why I was like, okay, we need to find a way to still help people because at the end of the day, we all need leads. We all need a way to get like people coming to us to become future clients. So that's how we help them set up the ads. Basically, what I would do for them anyways, just on a smaller scale. Mhm.
Yeah. I know when I first came on the online space and then I was like a tech VA to start with, and everybody was like, you need to find a premium service. I'm like, oh, okay. You need to do Facebook ads. Like that was the big thing back then. Like
Mhm.
that was the top premium service. And so I tried it. And I'm like, I don't know that I like this. Because
Yeah, but
since I was a beginner and I didn't have a whole lot of connections, I'm talking with other beginners. And then when
mhm.
you're talking to them about yeah, like they're gonna have to pay me to run their ads and then the daily ad spend for them to
Mhm.
actually get results. And then really and truly it's all a test anyways,
Right.
because we're testing out ad copy and you're testing out images and you're testing out audiences and all of that. And then I just really had a hard time. I never could figure out like that the system that you
Mhm.
figured out. And that's why you impressed me so much.
Oh, well, thank you.
But I also figured out, people need the behind the scenes stuff too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The
Yeah,
behind the scenes is just as important as the ads, if not more.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And I was always one of those where that's easy. Why would somebody pay to have someone else do? Like, it's so easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not for everybody. But yeah, so that I was like, I know which path I need to take. So
Mhm.
tell us a little bit. How did you get started? Did you start in the online space doing ads or did you start with something else?
So when came into the online space, that's just exactly how I started. But like before that, I was in corporate, so I had like some experience with like social media in general. But I do know one thing is that I hate organic social media very, very much. I understand it's needed, and funny enough, that's one of the requirements that I have for like my clients. But the thing is, like, it takes forever, but it's helpful for, like, testing out the messaging, making sure things work, like what you do with, like, funnels, making sure those work and that people actually want that before you move it to ads. But when I came into the online space, I saw an ad about running Facebook ads, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds interesting and easy-ish enough." It's not easy. Yeah, just for people who know, it's not easy. The setup is easy, but, like, getting it to fully work that takes a lot of testing and more than testing, patience. A lot of patience. Because also, like, the thing I see is, like, Okay, so, like, when you're doing organic marketing and you put a post out, yeah, it sucks if you didn't, like, get a few likes or comments on the first post. Okay, but then you keep trying again, right? You don't stop and you're like, "I'm done. This doesn't work. It sucks." But people do the opposite with ads. They put ads up for even if it's $5 a day, it didn't work within an hour, and you're like, "That sucks. Just stop the ads. It doesn't work." But, like, just with organic marketing, that it takes time, ads also takes time. Like, you can see the results, like, within a week or so if it's working. Then if not, you don't just turn it off. You try again, like what you do with organic marketing. You're like, "Okay, that messaging didn't work. Let's tweak things." That's exactly what you have to do with ads as well. Mhm.
Yeah. I think the key is like you can test faster with ads because you're putting some money
Exactly.
behind it. So,
Exactly. So you
yeah.
can see the messaging, like, be like, okay, let's talk about potentially like getting more leads. Oh, okay,
Mhm.
that didn't quite work out. Let's talk about increasing challenge signups. Oh, that didn't work out. Or let's talk about like I'm making more money. Ooh, okay, that didn't land. Let's talk about making time, getting time back and spend with your family. Oh, that did work out. So you just have to you don't have to change your offer. What you have to change is how it's positioned, how it's worded for you to see what works and what doesn't,
Mhm.
which often people are like, this offer didn't work. Let's try another one. But then you're just spending so much money and time trying to move offers all over the place rather than sticking to one and switching the way you mention things.
Mhm. So key is like you have an offer and you've sold it. You have people that have bought it. I mean, that's usually when I talk to people, I'm like, you people bought your offer, right? And if they're like,
Hmm.
yeah, people are buying it. And I'm like, all right, now let's look at automating. Ads are the same way. Like you're not
Hmm.
going to start with a brand new offer and brand new ad copy and brand new graphics and then kind of see what sticks because at that point you don't
Right.
know.
Right. That is true if you like trying to sell something. But like for example, for a freebie, ideally you do want to test it out before,
Hmm.
but because these require like less ad spend. So for example, for lead generation, I always say like get a, like at least $10 in ad spend to test it out. Run it for 3 days. If it's working, keep them running. Or if not, just like if you're like, that sounds good, but like can I lower it to five? Yeah, again, test it out.
Hmm.
And it does work. Because I have a few of my students doing that. I do that myself. So it does work, but you still wanna have at least 10 at the beginning to make sure it works.
Hmm.
But if it's, like, something that you haven't tested out before, you still can use ads to test it out. The data will tell you. They'll be like, "Yeah, no, it's time for a new thing."
Yeah. So you
So
could
that you can do
test.
it.
So when it comes to freebies, you
Yeah,
know, feel free to test and then put some money behind it and then figure out that way too.
exactly. Does it work? Does it not? Absolutely. But, like, when it comes to sending something paid, that's
Mhm.
when I'm like, "You that's the last thing you ever wanna do." Because you need a lot of money, and people are like, "Oh, but if it's just a $7 offer," I'm like, "You know a $7 offer needs $20 a day per audience just to see if it's gonna work?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah, and it usually costs like $30 to $40 to get one person to purchase a $7 offer. So that's when you come in like your genius and like making sure that people purchase like upsells and a one-time offer because then that's okay if it costs $30 to $40 to
Mhm.
purchase a $7 offer because in the back end you made let's say $200.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's why paid offers, that's the last thing you ever wanna do. That's the thing that just, like, started trending a few years ago where, like, "Oh, that's how you build a list of buyers." Yes, it is, but do you wanna spend all this money upfront to build this list of buyers, or would you rather test out this list of buyers, future list of buyers with a freebie, put the $7 offer, still use it, but on the thank you page of your freebie as a tripwire
Mhm.
to see if people even want it.
Mhm.
Because if people are buying it, then you can think about turning it into a mini paid offer.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I always say like, yeah, don't don't do that. You're gonna waste a lot of money. And that's when you're gonna be like, Facebook ads suck. They don't work. They're too hard. They're expensive. And insert any other excuse as to why they suck, which they don't.
Brilliant. I love that. I love how you explained it. So
I'll have you experience this.
so you touched on it a little bit,
Mhm.
like the tripwire and
Yeah.
automation. Like how do you explain that to people? So I assume you have people coming to you and they're like, I don't really have a system. Uh,
Mhm,
I'm not exactly sure, like, what do I need in order to do lead gen? How does that work? And then you have to explain that they don't have to automate,
mhm,
right? But they could
mhm.
automate. So how do you kind of explain that to them?
So if they wanna run ads, they definitely do wanna automate because otherwise there is one way to do it, but it's gonna be a lot of manual work. Then you're gonna be like,
Mhm.
Why am I even bothering?" Um, but, like, for automation in general, it's just to make your life easier. Just easier because, for example, you could do it organically and just be like, "Drop me a line below if you want to get a copy of this freebie." So then you have to have a conversation with each person and drop the link in there. With ads, you skip the process of talking to the person. It just goes straight up to them opting in and getting stuff via email. But that's where also email comes in hand because since you're not having the conversation with them, then email is the one that's going to have to do the warm up for you. There is another way where you could start a conversation. There's multiple ways that you can do it. Like this would be like you starting a conversation with them and still doing it like via DMs, but that also is going to take time, but also requires an automation. Whether you do it with like systems like ManyChat
Mhm.
that can automatically do it for you, or you do it yourself, it's still some sort of automation because even if you do it manually, by now you possibly had experience, so you're like, "Okay, this is message number 1, message number 2, question to ask, question 2. Okay, here's the link, blah, blah, blah." So,
Mhm.
it all requires some sort of automation, but especially with ads, you do wanna have at least, like, a funnel in place, and funnel can be like what I was saying, like, send them to Messenger with, the code word "clients," I don't know, and from there, you have to start a conversation, or you
Mhm.
send it to an email, or you send them to a Facebook group, or you just need a way so that you can nurture these people and not convince them to work with you, but show them, like, why they should choose you, because that's the other reason why ads wouldn't work for you, and I made this mistake. I just got the other leads on the email, and then I was like, "I don't know what to say to them. I'm just gonna ignore them. I don't know what to say to them." So I ignore them, and, like, of course, they don't work. That's when you feel like you wasted money on ads, but as long as you have a way to nurture these people via email, Messenger, Facebook groups, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you are, just do it. That's the best way. Mhm.
So if you're ready to run ads, or you believe that you're ready to run ads, the key thing you need to do is what are you gonna do with those leads when you bring them in?
Right. Mhm.
And so if you have to have something, you have to have a plan, like, you have to have something
Mhm.
set up, and if you automate that, like, where you're just sending them over to a landing
Mhm.
page that then sends them over to a tripwire page, which
Mhm.
is just a small offer
Right.
that fits and goes with your freebie, where it's a nice to have. They don't have to have it to do what's in the
No.
freebie, but it's just a nice to have and it fits well so that they can
Mhm.
then buy that. And then you're like, okay, like they're interested. And so they're on your email
Exactly.
list. You run them through a nurture sequence so they get to know you, maybe lead them
Mhm.
to the next offer, and then
Exactly.
continue to email them for as long as they want to see you in their inbox.
Exactly, as long as they don't hit unsubscribe.
You have
Yeah,
many,
because
many times for up at bat.
yeah, exactly, and I'm glad you pointed that out. Yeah, you do not need a tripwire to run, like, a freebie ad, but the one thing you do need on your thank you page is something to take them to the next step to becoming closer to you as a client. So, if it's not a tripwire, that's totally okay. Don't break your head thinking like, "Oh my god, what do I create? Because if not, I can't run ads." No.
Mhm,
The next step could be book a call. People do book calls from there.
mhm,
The other way could be like you have a Facebook group, invite them to join your Facebook group. Are you mostly active on Instagram? Invite them to just go talk to you on Instagram or just like follow you on Instagram. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, another one, like if you have a master class or something, invite them to the master class because maybe you have a workshop that's where you sell stuff. Why not? Just invite them there and go straight to watch the workshop. Make money. Ta-da!
mhm,
So there's multiple things you can do on the thank you page. The tripwire is just one of those options.
mhm. Yep. And what are what are some ideas that for creating that freebie? Because I know I've talked to people in the past and they always thought, well, I have to do a PDF and I'm not very good at Canva and it takes me forever to design. I was like, then don't do one.
Right.
What other
Exactly.
what have you seen for, like, freebies that work besides a PDF? Because I think so many people do PDFs.
Yeah, and I mean, PDFs are awesome. The one thing that you would just have to do there is just, like, not make it, like, 50 pages, 'cause I mean, you're like me, I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm not reading that."
You end up
So,
with a
other
100-page ebook. I'm like, "Ah, not what I thought I was getting."
exactly. So, like, with freebies, at least what I always say is, like, do something that's gonna save them either time or money. So, also, don't break your head trying to make it pretty, because a few of my freebies are literally a Google Doc, and they work well. So,
Yes.
you can do that as well. People are not, like, being like, "Oh, she gave me a Google Doc. That's a joke." No, like, don't break your head doing that. So, you could do a checklist that's on a Google Doc. For me, the one that works the best for me is a targeting template, and I did have it on a Google Doc, but I did make it pretty with Canva. But the only reason I made it pretty is because since I have it on a table in a Google Doc, you have to go back and forth on mobile. Also, make sure it's mobile optimized, people. Always do on mobile. That's why mine's not on a Google Doc. Otherwise, I would totally give you the Google Doc. But yeah, but it's like templates work really well. People like, for example, for me, if they're like, okay, I'm running the ads, they got the audiences down. I gave them the audiences to use, and they're like, I don't know what to say in the ad copy. Give them templates. That way people save them time because people are just like, I don't know what to say. What is the biggest issue that your audience is having? Mine is both of those two. They break their heads trying to know what to say in the ad copy. They always think the audiences are not what works. And also the graphics. Like, so what is your audience like struggling with? But if you want a little bit of like a better freebie, let's say, and it's not better, it's just that some people prefer this, you can also do it to a workshop or a 4-day video series or a challenge or anything like that. It's just that $10 a day in that case just won't really be the best. It's always so think of it this way, the more you're asking for from an audience, so whether it's you want them to spend more time with you or to spend money with you, the more it's going to cost you to acquire this lead. So, if you want to be for less, I would say like a PDF that's not 50 pages. Don't add
Simple
it to the Word.
simple checklists, scripts, templates.
Exactly. Something very, very simple. And I would even say a quiz, but the only problem that I have with quizzes is that people get excited to see their results, but I don't know if they actually care about like what you're helping them with.
Mhm.
So you can quickly build your email list with potential people who just wanted to see their results. And that's me. I want to see my result. Like, what type of like Dexter character am I or something
Yep,
like that?
yep, yep, I've taken
Yeah.
those too, and that's just that I
Yeah.
just wanna see what you said, like, I don't even care about the email that you're gonna send me, like, I just wanna see what
Yeah,
the result
no.
is.
Exactly. So be very careful with quizzes or be very, very intentional if you're going to use them. But I always say go for like anything that's PDF, small, short, saving time or money.
Mhm.
Quick win. Just give them a quick win. Don't add on to their to do list because then that's when they're going to ignore and be like, it's too much. No
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah.
Mhm.
And the Google Doc, because I love when somebody gives me a Google Doc with the checklist
Mhm.
where I can just go in there
Yes.
and check, 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 like, I can actually click it, or I can tweak it and add my own notes in there and
Yep.
customize that checklist for me, where when I get a Canva doc, then I'm like, "I don't even wanna print this because"
Yes.
yeah, or
The printing, you're like, my desk. I don't know
yeah,
where else to put all this paperwork.
where am I going to
Yeah.
put it? Now I have to print it. It's gonna use so much ink. My printer won't
Yep.
work.
Yeah, because with the pretty Canva, you're like, "Oh, man, you made the cover, like, pink and red." You're like, "Oh, my ink can take it." Yep, I hear you.
Yeah, and there's, so many different ways to make a Google Doc pretty. I mean, bring your brand colors in, add a header to it, like, just do different things, to make that pretty and useful and, yeah, simple, like, just simple. That's all it
At
needs
the
to
end
be.
of the day, they're not gonna remember you for like, "Damn, she had one great cover and the preview." They're gonna be like, "She helped me with XYZ." So, yeah, you don't have to make it pretty, like, Google Docs are just as acceptable. Just also do make sure you not teach them, but tell them, "What's the next step with you? Is it to still book a call? Is it to join the Facebook group?" Like, always have it in there as well. Just never miss out an opportunity on tell them what to do next.
Yeah, and that's key too, because most of us don't
Mhm,
know what to do next. And so I'm just
mhm.
looking for simple instructions. Because I know the other thing I've seen before is, here's where to join my Facebook group. Here's where to find my
Oh,
Instagram.
God.
Here's like, and
Just one.
it's like 10 things. I'm like, now I have to go do that? Like, I don't have time to go do that. So then we don't do anything.
Right.
And
Yeah,
you
just
really
one.
want them to take that next step. So if you just, one step,
Just one.
yeah,
Just one. Yeah, because if not, they're like, like what you say, you're like, which one do I do? Like, should I be in your group? Should I follow your Instagram? What if I'm not on Instagram? Do I have to create an Instagram account so that I can follow? Like, no, just give them one thing,
one
whether they
thing.
want it or not. That's up to them. But just give them one idea. Don't give them too many. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we covered so much goodness in there, with the key being to just keep it simple
Yeah.
when it comes to lead
Absolutely.
gen and using
Hmm.
ads and seeing results with that. I mean, and yes, you have to put some money behind it, but the return and getting people on your list is huge. I know that's one of my goals this year also, is to grow my list, because
Hmm.
there's so many affiliate opportunities out there. Like, I love
Hmm.
so many of my friends' products, that
Hmm.
a lot of times if I put a little PS in there and be like, "Hey, like, I just went through so and so's course on creating pretty Google
Right.
Docs.
Hmm.
If you wanna check it out, here's my link, and it's affiliate link." I mean, at least I have a little tiny list. At least one person will
Hmm.
buy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
And that's perfect.
what if I had a bigger list? Like, what if I made a couple $100 every time I send an email out? That would be kinda cool.
Just a little cool. I mean, not too bad. One email, a few $100. I mean, it's not
Yeah, that'd be
bad.
kinda cool.
Exactly. And I know lots of people are like, email doesn't work anymore and all that stuff. No, email still works.
Even
Yeah,
still
email
works.
still does.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yep, if you get the right people on your list, um,
Yeah.
email works.
And also, even if those are the freebie seekers, as people tend to say, it's not necessarily freebie seekers. It's just not the right time yet.
Mhm.
Eventually, you're going to say something that is going to be like, okay, let's go. That's why also, sorry, and with that, I forgot this one thing. With that, you also want to make sure that whenever you have your automation, tag them as this person came from Facebook ad, because if they convert down the line, you can measure important things. One, where did they come from?
Mhm.
Two, how long were them on your email list before they were able to purchase? And three, once they make a purchase, you can measure what's the lifetime value of this customer, which is also very, very important for ads. Because at times people are like, I ran this ad and the ROI wasn't there. Well, did you run it today and you wanted people to purchase today? Or did you run it today and this person converted like 6 months down the line? Then this $2 lead that you got with your freebie, purchase your $2,000 program, was it worth it? I would say so. But I did, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So be very careful with those things too, because that's another thing with ads. They're like, oh, that doesn't work. Not because it didn't work right now and purchase right now means that they won't purchase
Mhm.
down the line as they get to know you more and spend more time with you.
Yes. Yes, and that
Mhm.
opens up a whole new box of worms, I guess, with looking at your numbers and knowing what you're looking at and how to look at them to make sure that,
Oh man, yeah,
yes,
there's
it's
a lot of
working.
data. Oh yeah, lots of data because so many things can go wrong. Is it an ads problem? Is it a funnel problem? Is it an email problem? Is it an offer problem? And then even under those, there's like even more. So like, let's not even start there.
Yeah, no, think we covered so much. Thank you so much for being with me today and sharing all of these gold nuggets when it comes to lead gen. I appreciate you so much. And if you want to get on Cassandra's list and see everything that she shares and all of the value that she brings her audience, please click on the link that's here with this video and get on her list. So, thank you.
Of course, thank you for having me here. Love chatting with you and talking more about Legion and just Facebook ads in general.
I know, right?
Oh yeah, always fun.